Ever thought of your city turning into a ghost town? No, we're not talking about Halloween night, but it's a spooky thought, isn't it? Research suggests that by 2100, thousands of cities in the United States could be virtual ghost towns. This insight crept up from a detailed study that looked at the population trends of around 15,000 cities across the nation. It's not just about tiny, isolated towns. Cities like Cleveland in Ohio, Buffalo in New York, and Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania are also predicted to experience this drop in residents. But why? Factors like changing economic winds and climate shifts are likely to blame. Picture this: streets once bustling with life, now quiet as a graveyard, buildings standing empty and forsaken, parks that used to echo with laughter and fun, now deserted. The reality, though, is not a grim tale from a Stephen King novel, but a reality that we may have to brace ourselves for. This isn't limited to just one or two states. The study hints that states like Illinois, Mississippi, Kansas, New Hampshire, and Michigan could see about 3/4 of their cities face a population drop. That's a big chunk of the country potentially facing a future with shrinking populations. But it's not just about the numbers. It's about the people, the culture, and the communities that give these cities life. So, as these cities shrivel, what happens to the people and the culture that thrive there? A thought that could make your hair stand on end indeed, and one that we'll explore in this video. Stick around. As mentioned, cities like Cleveland, Ohio, and Buffalo, New York are on the list. These cities are potentially facing a future where their streets echo with silence rather than the hum of life. In fact, around half of the cities in the United States are projected to experience a significant shrink in their populace by 2100. And it's not just Cleveland and Buffalo that are feeling the heat, or rather, chill. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, also finds itself in this precarious position, teetering on the edge of becoming a modern-day ghost town. But it's not just these cities that are at risk. Whole states like Illinois, Mississippi, Kansas, New Hampshire, and Michigan could see about 3/4 of their cities dwindle in population. Imagine that for a moment, 3 out of every 4 cities in these states echoing with the ghostly whispers of what once was. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, less traffic, right? It's true, less population might mean fewer traffic jams, but it also means fewer people contributing to the vibrancy and dynamism that make our cities so special. So while the rush hour drive might become a breeze, you might find yourself driving past empty houses and vacant storefronts, a stark reminder of the bustling life that once was. And let's not forget the impact on the local economy. Fewer people means fewer consumers, fewer taxpayers, and fewer workers. It's a domino effect that could bring even the most robust local economies to their knees. As we ponder this rather somber reality, one can't help but wonder, what does this all mean for the future of these cities and their inhabitants? What are the consequences for these cities? Let's delve deeper. And it's not just cities. Whole states could see a massive decline in their populations. Imagine Illinois, once bustling with life and vibrancy, its cities now mere echoes of their former selves. Illinois, seeing about 3/4 of its cities dwindle in population by 2100, and its windy city of Chicago may have to brace itself against more than just gusty breezes as it faces the possibility of becoming a ghost town. Now, picture Mississippi. The state, known for its rich cultural history and the mighty Mississippi River, could also become a ghost town. Imagine the towns along the Mississippi River, once thriving and full of life, now reduced to a fraction of their current size. Let's move a bit north to Kansas. The Sunflower State, known for its wide open spaces and agricultural productivity, may see fewer and fewer people tilling its fertile lands. 3/4 of its cities could experience a drop in population, leaving vast open spaces even more expansive. Traveling east, we find New Hampshire. The Granite State, with its breathtaking mountains and beautiful lakes, could see its population disappear. Picture the White Mountains with fewer hikers to appreciate their grandeur. Finally, we land in Michigan. Known as the Great Lakes State, Michigan might lose a significant portion of its population. Imagine the cities along the shores of the Great Lakes, their population reduced, their vibrancy dimmed. Each of these states, rich in history and culture, could see over half of their cities decline in population. That's a significant number of people, of communities, of stories disappearing into the ether. Now, these are projections, and projections can change. But the fact remains that if we don't take action now, we may be facing a very different landscape in the future. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? So what does it mean when a city becomes a ghost town? Imagine walking down a street where the shops are shuttered, the houses stand empty, and the silence is broken only by the occasional whisper of the wind. This could be the stark reality for thousands of U.S. cities by 2100 if current projections hold true. Depopulation hits hard and the impacts are far-reaching. It's like a domino effect, where one piece falls and sets off a chain reaction. When people leave, they take with them their skills, their taxes, their demand for local goods and services. This can lead to a severe economic decline, with businesses closing their doors and the local economy spiraling into a recession. In many cases, cities are the heart of a region's culture, hosting festivals, museums, and theaters. When a city's population dwindles, these cultural hubs can lose their vibrancy and fade into obscurity. The loss of culture is not just about losing a part of our identity, it's also about losing a sense of community and belonging. Then there's the issue of infrastructure. Cities are laced with roads, bridges, and buildings that require regular maintenance. When the population decreases, there are fewer people to share the cost of maintaining these structures. Over time, as these structures are neglected, cities start to resemble ghost towns with abandoned buildings and crumbling infrastructure. And it's not just the physical aspects of a city that suffer. Social services such as schools, hospitals, and police departments can become understaffed and underfunded, leading to a decline in the quality of life for those who remain. Depopulation can create a cycle that's hard to break. As people leave, the city becomes less attractive, which in turn drives more people away. It's a vicious circle that can take decades, if not centuries, to reverse. The future can seem bleak, but it's not set in stone. Let's remember, these are projections, not certainties. We have the power to change the course, to breathe life back into our cities before they become memories of a bygone era. The future is not predetermined. It's shaped by our actions today. This statement couldn't be more apt when we consider the fate of our cities. As we've seen, thousands of U.S. cities could become ghost towns by the 21st century's end, their vibrant streets reduced to eerie silence. But it's not something that can't be changed. The power to alter this trajectory lies in awareness and action. Awareness is the first step towards meaningful change. By understanding the projections, recognizing the potential for depopulation, and the profound impact it could have on our society, we can start to address the issue. It's not just about numbers on a page or the emptying of buildings. It's about the loss of community, the ebbing away of shared history, and the displacement of generations. However, awareness alone is not enough. It's the catalyst for action, which is the second, equally crucial step. We need to think about potential solutions, and there are many. From policy changes that encourage population growth to community initiatives that make our cities more livable, there are numerous paths we can take. For instance, consider the role of policy. Governments can introduce incentives to attract new residents, such as tax breaks for businesses or grants for homeowners. They can invest in infrastructure, creating jobs and making cities more attractive places to live. They can also foster education and training programs to equip people with the skills they need for the jobs of the future. Community involvement is another powerful tool. Citizens can champion local businesses, participate in urban regeneration projects, and create a sense of belonging that makes people want to stay. They can also advocate for sustainable practices, creating cities that are not only vibrant but also resilient in the face of future challenges. In essence, the power to shape the future of our cities lies not in the hands of fate, but in our own. The future is not a destination we're heading towards, but a reality we're actively creating. We have the power to turn the tide, to breathe life back into our cities, to ensure they remain thriving centers of community, culture, and innovation. Our cities' futures lie in our hands. Thank you for taking this journey with us. We hope this video has sparked some thoughts about the future of our cities and what we can do to shape it. If you found this interesting, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We are particularly interested in your thoughts on this topic. What do you think about the potential future of these cities becoming ghost towns? Were you surprised by anything said in the video? Please share your opinions and ideas in the comments section below. Remember, Your engagement is not just about helping us create more content like this. It's about participating in the discourse, contributing to the collective understanding, and helping shape the future of our cities. So let's start the conversation and engage with the future.